Kathy Vick, Deeply Awake, Chats 2017. And, hey, guess what? I have enough to start writing. So after this, I'm going to put words on the page. My first entry. I usually don't allow myself permission to begin a project unless I have it named. This one has been so long in the working, I'm not worried about the name. It feels to me embedded in the work. You want to hear a little bit about it? Okay. So the original seed idea is that there's a disappearance of a group of people, and all over the world, it's like they're on a bus and boop, they're gone. They're sitting on the couch watching TV, boop, they're gone. And it was simultaneous, and it was all over the world, and it affected a lot of people, and there was a complete media blackout. The people who survived such disappearances didn't have a way to connect with each other somehow. They were left to, scratch their heads. And one of the persons who was left behind, so to speak, is a woman whose brother disappeared. And this is where I ended last time. She came upon personal hardship, and then she decided to move. And that's as far as I got, because I knew there was a lot more where she chose to move, which is Leadville, but I didn't know what it was. So 20 years later, oh, would you like the end of that story? Here it is. So she goes and she encounters her brother and a whole bunch of his friends, and enough time has passed that they've been trained up, and they're quite unusual. And she shares certain proclivities that she was unaware she possessed. So, sound pretty good? Yeah, I think so too. And and here's the deal with ideas. Am I scared to put this out on the web? Someone will scoop it up and do it. Here's the information I got about my writing long ago. It's a thumbprint. It is unique and identifiable. And the hope would be that there will be people who will want to do similar work. Isn't that awesome? We'll go for it. But I can't be replicated. And I would worry, I can't breathe a word of a new idea. It would be just horrible. Someone will steal it. Well, the thing is that I've had enough experiences where I watch something or read something and think it's kind of, it's not a pleasant experience for me, because you know why? I could have written that. Damn it, I could have written that. Oh, that's so good. Like that. But the thing is that whoever gets there, because I talk to my ideas and say, okay, well, if it's mine, hang around. And it's just not appropriate for you to go anywhere else. Have you noticed that sometimes there are two things at the same time? Like there's two movies about people busting up an asteroid that's going to come to Earth, or Independence Day, that kind of thing. Same story. And that often happens with movies and things like that. And it's because people have been given the same idea, and then it germinates. And so, who really invented the radio? That kind of idea. So whoever is able to bring it to fruition is able to bring it to fruition. They're the persons, that's the person who was linked to that work. Bravo. So it's not something that I worry about. That's my idea, and it will ripple and dance with my raucous, sensuous, funny writing, and it'll be awesome. So I'm realizing that I am just seeing things so much differently that it really does require my coming here. I did deeply awaken. I come when I need to amend something that I've said. I've pondered, and I need to readdress it. Because, it didn't feel right, and it keeps spiking, and I have to then address it because it doesn't quite feel right. It doesn't happen when I write, but it happens more when I am verbal, and that's one of the reasons I think that I come, because I need to clarify something I've said. So I'm realizing that, and that's not entirely necessary. In fact, it's not necessary at all. And it's a bit of a habit. But it's a good habit when you're a writer, so it's okay. A writer of nonfiction, okay? So that's one. And then sometimes it is just so absolutely, I am absolutely different. And I need to record it somehow, either by writing or video, because it is new. I want to welcome it. I want to greet it appropriately and with much joy and celebration and acknowledgement and thankfulness. I want to describe it, how I feel, how the energy feels, what it's like to be twinned with it, what it's like to be thinking brand new thoughts. And today, it's so silly. I got to tell you, I love Jackpot Party. It's a little app on my phone. It's the little things, okay? But I like gambling. It's a big deal for me. I don't get to do it very often anymore because I don't have the disposable cash. It's just not. I'm not in a place where I can. Money is still money right now. It's not something. It's not a symbol that I can turn into a token and then play with. And when I'm really raking it in, sometimes, it's easier to look at it that way and go spend a Hunsky. But right now, I don't have that. So, what fun, what joy to find an app that has the actual games, not the knockoffs. It's like, being able to hang out at Nordstrom's instead of Walmart or Goodwill. It's awesome. And the thing is that I have been insanely lucky. Like yesterday, just the machine just popped in and said, "Oh, by the way, BT Dubs, you just won the super duper huge humongous jackpot. So here's $1 billion. Enjoy that. Keep playing." What? And just winning just obscenely large jackpots and things like that. And I play enough to know that that's not normal. It's not how it was. It's unusual and it's fun. It's fun. But this morning I was laying on my bed and I thought, okay, well, I'll play a little bit of casino. I never do it in the morning. I only do it at certain times. But I thought, okay, yeah, I will do that. It's sort of fun. And I began, and I was really relaxed, laying on my bed, and I was thinking, it's important to look at this. How I'm doing when things go really, really well. I mean, more than just well, super weird well. When things are really good. When all of my little dreams have come true. How do I feel? What's it like? Because you master things once you've had experience with them. You can read all about it, dude. But if you're cursed with a certain amount of bad luck, to have it turn is a very interesting phenomenon. Will you accept it? Is it real, even? Are you going to try and kill it? That's an important question. How am I going to kill this? How's it going to go bad? And then, doing the things that get you right back where you were when the luck was bad. And I watched all that play out as I was playing today. Because the thing is, I woke up and it's, oh, wow, it's Saturday. And it's a day of, I love days off because I have independence, I have choice. I'm not told where to go or what to do. I get to create where I go and what I do. I love days off. But the thing is, I don't mind where I go for 8 hours now. And before it was always, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Such resistance and some repugnance. It's surprising to me that I didn't contract diabetes. Because that's what diabetes is from. It's twinned energy of resistance and repugnance. But I got enough good things from nursing, and I felt good enough about myself in that environment. But it's a different way of relating. It's very, the flow is different. And for a long time, it was just really, I hated it. I found it dirty and disgusting and sad and pathetic and just, ugh. Yeah, I'm good at it. Yeah, I can stand witness. And yeah, I'm here. But wow, I flagged. And, my luck has never been that good. There was this apartment complex that blew up. And a friend of mine from college asked me one time when I was visiting with her, hey, was that your apartment building? I said, yeah. I'd already moved out, but yeah. I drove past it in the alleyway, and all that was left of my apartment was the green tile in the bathroom at the front door in that area. Yeah, that was mine. Yeah, I thought it was. You have that kind of luck. So it's not like it's gone unnoticed by people, okay? It's like comic tragedy is my specialty. If it can make you laugh out loud and cry real tears, that's my life. Laugh out loud funny and break your heart sad. Yep, that's about it. So it's a lot easier to focus on the fun and the laughter. But, for a long time, the sadness kind of won out. And it can when your luck is bad and when things just are hard. So, and they haven't been hard for quite a while. That's the thing, and that's sort of the punchline. And one of the things that Cryon talks about a lot. That, you guys have got to just relax a little bit. The fight's over. The wind is at your back. You're walking on a superhighway that's nicely lit. I mean, on and on the metaphors go. Trust that it might not be like it was. Did you at one time feel as if there was some weird conspiracy against your light? Well, guess what? There kinda was. I talked about it last tape. When you're pumping a lot of light, when you're just naturally innocent and sweet and clear and connected, but still taking on all the coding and all the nonsense and not understanding any of it, or rarely understanding it, it can get to just be a little too much. And here we are. And so today I'm thinking, oh, well, wait a minute. It's Saturday. Tomorrow I get to do something so wonderful. And today is also wonderful. And on Monday I get to do something wonderful. There's not that presence in my life of just, I don't want to do this anymore. It's just gone. And it was just, wow, being without it is really, it's a physical experience. I can see why I became so inflexible and unbendy. I don't want to take one more step here. Kind of like that. Plus, I know the moment it happened. And it was a different story being told in that moment. But all together, there's so much resistance. Yikes. And I'll tell you, with that comes contempt. Where does the resistance come from? Unwillingness. Not giving consent, but needing to do it. And that, to me, sums up that old energy. Free will is a big deal. Consent is an even bigger deal. And consent does not ride along with contempt. They're mutually incompatible. So, for me now, the vision has cleared enough that I can remember my story, past, present, and future, while I'm at the grocery store. I just was at 7-Eleven and had this amazing experience. And it's like, it never stops, it never stops, it never stops. This is what my life is now. And so my feeling is that the deeply awake can function simply as that, to come when I've had a really big sparkly, that's one of the reasons too, or when I've noticed a cumulative change that results in a new way of thinking. And it's yours for free. And you're welcome. So I don't have to come, complaining as much as I did, in pain as much as I did, feeling nothing but compassion for the pain, and knowing really better now the kind of pain that others probably are in all the time and may have gotten to the place where they have attended to it. They don't even notice it. But I couldn't help but notice it. My guess is if you're following along as 1810, 1811, you noticed it too. So, the story behind all of this is me being willing and able at this point to allow things to continue to be good. And by good, I mean I don't mean not upsetting, because some things happen that are upsetting. But and there are some times when have you felt it? Things are going along okay, and then all of a sudden something happens. And you go, oh God! Now I really got to show up and work. I mean, really work. Really, like everything counts right now. It was like that from my birthday time until just really recently, and it's still like that. But it's coated in love. It's softer. It's more gentle. I'm not feeling quite so jingly jangly and scared, that because it's not brand new anymore. I'm getting used to it. And I think sometimes it takes me a while to test it out. I'm not going to put my faith into anything that doesn't pan out into the physical for me and make my life better. Why? Because you told me to? Because it brought you peace and therefore it'll bring me peace? Okay, well that's really nice of you. I appreciate that. But I'm well stocked. I love an exchange, but I kind of, this is bad. there's this guy who was mansplaining human design to me, and he's a boyfriend of a friend of mine, so you're supposed to just smile and take it, right? And like the third or fourth encounter, he's just always so manic about it, and he just wants to push and tell me all about it and his life, and and how this is the way, this is the truth, this is the light, and it's like that. And it's rather condescending. That's the only thing. It just smacks of condescension. You stupid bitch. Let me tell you a thing or two. Like that. But it's all very nice. Anytime somebody just goes and doesn't engage you, and then goes some more, and then you say more about what you think, and they go about their stuff, well, you're being mansplained to. So I was I kept running into him, and he kept like bugging me and stuff. So I finally said, listen here, we're gonna get along just fine if you get it through your noggin that there ain't nothing you can teach me. If you want to share with me and you're willing to listen to my point of view and have a discussion, well, that's awesome. But don't try and teach me. You have no idea who you're talking to. So I'd like you to stop it around me. I haven't seen him since. Was that emasculating? I don't know. My son would probably go, ew, ouch, Mom. But it's like, just back the hell off. The presumption of my stupidity is too thick around you. So let me just clarify things, dude. So yeah, I'm not the best in social situations. God, what a jerk. Which brings up, I do want to revisit. That's one of the reasons I'm here. I want to revisit what I said about the patient that I helped, because I want you to understand. And this is to close. As a patient advocate and as a nurse, I never intimidate my patients, ever. So what I was trying to get across to him, and I had help, my boss was there, was because the idea was, hey, listen, if you want to keep doing these really dark, nasty, naughty things and like being a little whirling dervish of chaos, we'll find some place more appropriate for you, where they look the other way, but we don't do it that way here, and it has to stop. If you want passage here, we answer to authorities, and there's a certain way of doing things. You just can't go around hurting people. And he was doing nasty stuff. And so, but the idea behind patient advocacy, I don't see me as the authority and this is how it's going to be. There are certain times when it just has to be that way, but it's so rare. I always did behavioral contracts, and I wanted to know what they thought was possible. Why set anybody up? And so that's how it went. We came up with a mutually agreeable contract, behavioral contract, and it acknowledged all of the stuff I had found out. So he knew his cover was blown. There was no place to hide. But I didn't want him signing his name on the dotted line to someone he wasn't going to be able to do. And my feeling is, as a nurse, if you're asking someone to make behavioral changes, but you don't give them any kind of new framework and you don't give them any help, well, that's just mean. And so, there was voc retraining, and there was a lot of stuff that we offered, too. Because it's just not right to say, well, just pull yourself up by the bootstraps and be better. That's not how it works. And that is a tenet of my practice. I learned that when I was, a newbie at Fort Logan. Without the other without the other person working with you, then it's just me imposing my will. You see a lot more of that in straight medicine. And my favorite kind of medical patient is a liquid in, liquid out patient who's tubed. They're mute. They're usually comatose. And it's all about, numbers and balance and safety and comfort and things like that. And it's very physical. But there is no consent, and that's where I go into spidey sense, and I'm feeling them and me so that I know what it is they need, and they're comfortable and they feel safe in a very unsafe situation. But working with people behaviorally is different. They have got to show up, and what is asked must be reasonable and necessary. Why else would we be having a talk? So I just wanted to make that plain, because I think that in the tape it sounded like I just came on like gangbusters. I knew that the work had already been done, because he was a different person after that treatment. I did the white light thing, and that energy was gone the next time I came into the facility. And I mean, I could feel it miles away every day, and it was gone. So there was a lot to work with then. There was no resistance then. So I have to admit that, this whole mindset and this whole matrix, it's part of the soil, man. It's part of me. And so I'm okay with that now. Is that like completing my shadow work, do you think? Could it be? Because it just feels so much more friendly on the inside and on the outside. And I have really good things to look forward to today. And this is really, for me, a foundation in mental health. I have to have something that's pleasant to look forward to. Because I tend to lose my focus and think that what's happening in the now is the only thing that's going to ever happen. And sometimes it's not pleasant. It's really hard to convince me that there's a future that has anything in it other than pain. And it's easy then to look back and see nothing but pain. And there I am, a little, a little pain generator. So it's really important for me to hook into simple pleasure, simple joys. The sun is out, things like that, just making it a little bit less rumination, maybe, I think, deep, but staying in the heart, I think, and in humor. And I just forget, and that's something, not anything that you should forget. Humor. So there's a lot more stand up in the house and on the radio, and there's a loosening up here. And I didn't really anticipate this in this order. So I'm having a great time. So I didn't have to cook breakfast. I went to 7-Eleven and got an eclair for my kid and a bear claw for myself. Yum smack. So I'm going to review this, and then I'm going to hunker down and begin. I just want to play. But I've been thinking, and this is a very cherished book idea. And I'm going to go without having reviewed my notes, because I never throw any of my writing away. So somewhere there's a box with my original notes from 90, whatever it was, 93 probably, of the first part of this. And I wish there's the first page of The Disappearance. It was only one page, maybe 4 sentences. And it was chilling. It was great. And I don't know if I'm going to be able... I've tried to reproduce that, and I haven't been able to. So, part of this is just, realizing there is not a one-size-fits-all way to happiness. That each person's individual happiness is the way to happiness. So, if perhaps you're one of the people who, if I came up to you and said, hey, you want to, I love doing this with friends, you want to just, pick a word and then write something about it and share it? Wanna? And if that makes you, I don't know, develop a flop sweat and the shakes, well then, we won't do that. There's other things we can do. But it's so much fun to write. And to do this in a more solitary way, because I was, the last time that I don't know if I wrote my novel when my muse was in my life. But I have a physical muse, and talk about potency. Woo! The creativity cannot be denied, and it's so nice. I miss that. So writing without a muse is going to be interesting, but I think it's entirely possible. I think I've been doing just fine. So all right, so we have Sunshine, who's needing plenty of love today, and Bartok, who's just gripless as always, in a very, very cute raccoon kind of way. He's so cool. He's gotten so big. Ooh. He's like king of the mountain. He's a cool cat. All right, so 3123. I guess that'll have to do. I hope you're having a great day, and I'm really glad I came, and I'm really glad I get to move on. And I think it's good to explain for me now what I see as the value of this work, and when I can anticipate coming and needing to come, and why it is that I continued. And I'm real glad I got off my chest about the patient advocacy that was bothering me. And so now I think it's time to enjoy a bear claw and get ready for our outing. So we're gonna have fun today, and I'm really glad about that. It's like we've come alive. There's spring is here, and we're actually able to move. We're not frozen in place. It's amazing. So I anticipate that good builds on good, becomes kind of addictive. To be happy. It's not the worst addiction in the world. All right, well, I'm going to go now, because I could go on and on. You know that about me. It's so true. But I don't like 32. I don't want to stop at 32. Is that okay with you? It's almost 33. We'll do it then, because I don't want 5. And I just saw 32:55. Aw, that's very sweet. All right, thank you. Have a really happy Saturday. I urge you to do little things with and for yourself that bring you joy. Like this shirt. Oh, it's got a stain and it's not quite right and it's thin. And I don't care. It's my favorite shirt. Little things. Do you have a favorite shirt? A favorite mug? I don't know. Favorite blanket? A favorite way you go to work? Favorite restaurant? Favorite song? Favorite color? Favorite vacation spot? Well, there's this thing called Google. Visual images can be very strong and can give you a great sense of peace and bring you little bits of joy. What's your favorite food? When was the last time you ate it? Do you have a favorite movie? Do you like that your animals love you? And that when they petition you for love, when you love them back, you feel better? Tiny ways. Mindful ways. The ways of gratitude and simplicity. Actually, you know what? I have something I need to share with you. My friend Nancy posted a video that I found really, really helpful. She related a very funny story, and it had to do with being a master and laughing when something messy or gross or untoward occurs. Because isn't the first reaction, God damn it, right? Contempt. and you spill your coffee. That's the vision I got. The Ascended Master is on his way to work in the morning in his car, and he hits a bump, and boop, the coffee goes on his jeans, and he laughs. And she was talking about something very similar happening to her. It was very funny. And poignant, bittersweet, beautiful, and profound, as always. Always hits it right out of the park, that Nancy. And what Zingdad had to say, or was it Zingdad, or is it Adamus? It's Adamus. Is that, we are here to do this work, to push through the contempt and the stories and all of that, and to be a light in a dark place. And twice in 24 hours I've received the image, so I'll give it to you. The banker was the one who gave the most strong visual of this. He said that a general had some people in a room with him, and he turned off the lights, and it was very, very, very dark. And then, after a long time, he lit a lighter. And because the eyes had been so acclimated to darkness, that little tiny bit of light illuminated everything. And he said, see, you are the light. And this was in an interview talking about nefarious practices of bankers, okay? But Adamus had very similar things to say, and Cryon repeats it frequently. Our job is to be match bearer, a light bringer. There are many ways to do that. Intellectually, emotionally, situationally, vibrationally, spiritually. With humor. With lightness of spirit. With generosity of soul. And you'll just have to trust me, but in the moment, that's what I bring too. That I have thoughts about it that are deep, well, there you go. But that's what I do. I'm pretty certain that's probably what you do too. As such, in a dark room, the only way that we can see that we're lit up is if we have a mirror. Or we trust. And we remember it is we who's flicking that pick. It's our pleasure. It's our duty. And, for a long time, it just felt like heaviness. And it just felt too hard. I was tired. I was done. I didn't want to do it anymore. The dark was too much for me. And it was a slow process in coming back from that. It had just become too much. Everything was unbearable. It was just so hard to be here. I didn't feel gentleness. I didn't feel sweetness. I didn't feel relief or release. I just knew a lot of constrictions and no's, and you can't go there, and I don't want to, and I don't want this. I would look around and just say, it's, it's okay, but there's got to be something more. Well, there is. And Adamus's job was to remind me and everyone else, our job is to stay in the and. He said, yeah, you may very well be, doing your thing, and you're cooking on the stove, and you forget, and it burns, and it fills the house up with smoke, and the alarms go off. And you're an Ascended Master. And stay in the and laugh. Stay in the and. this was a permission slip of some power, I'll tell you. And what's beautiful is that the last few days at work even, I am in full conscious awareness of my identity and the greater reality and worlds upon worlds. But I'm focused and I'm very effective. And it's really nice to see that balance. Whew. So, that we interrupt the regular programming. Boop, 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 boop. There you go. All right, now I'm done, and I get to go write. Whee! I'm so excited. Bear claw and writing time. So, have a great Saturday, and I wish you every happiness. I wish you a clearing, like I'm feeling, and I guess maybe just by feeling it, it's good to share it so that you'll know it's possible. This isn't with, new love coming into my life or, my hand being held or any of my frickin' dreams coming true. That's why I said it's kind of like out of sequence. There's still the paltry amount of money in my wallet, and I still am unpartnered, and I still have this unsustainability that seeps into my awareness, and there's still a mess, but everything's different, and it's much like the feeling I had on May 26th when I didn't really understand or realize or remember what had happened at first, and then there's what's real and what isn't supposed to be real. That's kind of how this day feels. And, there's no special event. There's no celestial trigger. I've been watching the numbers. The numerology is pretty, but it's spectacular. So, yeah, it's real. It's happening. And I hope that you are enjoying your process, wherever you are in the process. If it's the destruction phase, hang in there. I'm living proof. The bottom can fall out in so many ways. So often. So unexpectedly. So, look down. Bring your fingers down. Do you have a pulse? The worst happened and you still have a pulse? Imagine that. That alone, that experience alone, that's gold. Have that happen a few times. Yeah. All right. I'm really pleased. Oh my God, I'm really excited about this. It's kind of what I hoped for. All right. Fiction awaits. Have a dreamy day and a super great night. Namaste.